Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about a Primaris unit, the Reivers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you have any suggestions, please let me know what they are in the comment section below. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. It's because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. But with that said, let's get into 40 Facts on the Reivers. After the Ultima founding and the Primaris Marines, Guilliman has been very clear about the role and importance of close support squads. A well-coordinated and perfectly timed assault can break the back of any foe, cracking open their lines and sending the remnants of their army fleeing. To make such breakthrough attacks, the designated troops must be fast, aggressive, and hard-hitting. All Space Marines are expert at rapid strikes, but Reiver squads take such skills to the next level. Reivers are masters of terror tactics, breaking from stealth in a cacophony of bolter fire, grenade detonations, and guttural vox-amplified roars. Whole enemy units are scythed down in a burst of sudden fury and shocking violence before the Reivers fade back into the shadows. Reivers are specially trained and equipped to launch brutally effective and unexpected assaults. They do so with a sudden fury, for the Reiver squads fulfill the role of terror troops that sow fear and confusion amongst their foe. Each member of this Primaris squad is outfitted with a Mark 10 Reiver power armor, also known as Phobos armor. The suit's lighter weight ceramite and streamlined design allows for great mobility, and its servo motors are engineered to be completely silent. Above all else, Reiver squads depend on stealth and secrecy to accomplish their missions. To aid them in this role, some Reiver squads are equipped with grav chutes, allowing them to be airdropped to the battlefield from fast-moving transport craft. These grav chutes contain a generator that emits suspensor fields that can counter the force of gravity at the particle level, and two small promethium-fueled thrusters, one on each side of the pack, that provide some directional control, as well as contribute to the chute's aerobraking effects. In many ways, a grav chute is a smaller and less capable version of a jump pack. But unlike that technology, it is intended only to control the fall that is already in place, rather than lifting the person's entire weight up. They also make use of directional fins. The Reiver squad can glide to their destination from high altitudes and pull out of a steep descent when deploying from a high-velocity aircraft. They hug terrain contours while flying dangerously low. Without the fiery contrails of a jump pack-equipped drop troop or the blinding warp energies of teleportation, the Reiver squad can descend unnoticed behind enemy lines before silently getting into position. Their armor has also been modified to possess enlarged left-side pauldrons to enhance their protection in melee situations and to run completely silently. Reivers can also use grapple guns to scale vast heights and cross from building to building. Whatever their method, Reivers are unparalleled in their ability to be exactly in the right place at exactly the right time, ready to burst forth and attack their foe when they least expect it. There is nothing that can prepare an enemy from the savage suddenness with which the Reivers attack. Emerging from some unforeseen angle, the members of the Reiver squad launch themselves into battle amidst the noise and explosions of their expertly thrown shock grenades. The time for silence is over, replaced with a cacophony of sound that batters the enemy, wave-amplified blasts of specially modified bolt carbines, the keening of slicing combat knives, and the augmented guttural roars of the warriors themselves. Moving quickly, shooting and slashing at superhuman speed, the Reiver squad annihilates their targets. Such an unpredictable assault also unnerves those nearby, for their strike is enough to set even well-trained professional soldiers running. Against less disciplined foes, the Reiver squad is more devastating still. The ferocious destruction of one enemy group can set off a chain reaction of panic that ripples down the line as the roaring Reivers move to bring down their next target. What sets this Primaris unit apart from many of their other battle brothers is how visually frightening the Reivers are. This is due to their skull-faced helms, which fulfill the role of terrifying the enemy when confronted at close range. Unlike the skull helm of a Space Marine chaplain, whose helmet is carved to resemble the face of a human skull, a symbolic representation of the Emperor of Mankind's sacrifice for humanity, the Reiver skull helm only covers the mouth, nose, and eyes of the Space Marine, with the protective cranium shell that encompasses the rest of the head, much like any other helmet. Many chapters have incorporated Reiver squads into their attack plans, perhaps none more successful than the Raven Guard and the White Scars. At the opening strike against the heavily fortified palace of the corrupted planetary governor of Trox, the Raven Guard had their Reiver squads emerge just as the drop-out assault began. Within moments, miles of trench lines were cleared of rebels, with those manning the defense lines quickly abandoning their post in a panic that swiftly turned into a bloody rout. As for the White Scars, their hit-and-run attacks have become even more ferocious, with Reiver squads arising to ambush any foe attempting to reorganize their shattered defense lines. And those were 40 facts on the Reiver. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it answers the question of how is a Space Marine sneaky? Because that is a question that we get a lot, especially when we talk about Raven Guard or like the Night Lords. Like, how could someone or a demigod basically, a 10-foot tall superhuman warrior decked out in like armor be sneaky? How could he sneak up on somebody? And the answer is that the actual suits that they wear, this is talking for like the Reivers, they have enhanced motors so that sound and all that kind of stuff isn't really a thing. It's not really like something that hinders them when they're walking through places. And I would assume that a regular Space Marine kind of has something similar, whereas like the armor of a scout is lighter and it's supposed to be more mobile, and Raven Guard must have the same thing. Like if you have a jump pack infantry, am I saying that right? Yeah. Those guys must somehow have something within their jetpack or their armor that makes them a little quieter than normal. But yeah, I hope that that helps out that question. If it comes back up in a greater wall, I'll probably talk about the Reivers again, or just Scout Marines. But yeah. The Reivers were actually one of my favorite Primaris units. Actually, it still is my favorite Primaris unit that came out. I bought a box to give away for you guys when the Primaris first came out, and that is the closest I've ever come to owning or to holding Primaris. It's kind of weird, too, that I never bought a box. It's something that I would assume that I would have bought at some point. Just because I've been trying to get this homebrew chapter going since like the Ultima founding. So what is that, 3 years now? But either way, I'll pick it up sometime. I've actually never even played against anybody with Reivers, which is weird because the Primaris player within our group is a Raven Guard player, and I don't remember ever seeing him field Reivers. Maybe his tactics didn't really fit that whole Reiver stealth role or whatever, but I'm not sure. But anyways, before I ramble anymore, if you guys have any other units that you guys would like us to talk about, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first, and then